Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and gentlemen, congratulations on your nominations, and thank you for your decades of service to our nation. General Van Herrick, I want to talk a lot about your responsibility as the in this important position with regard to your responsibilities overseeing the Arctic. I've been in the Senate 5.5 years. We've made very significant progress on focusing on this, not because the Pentagon's been focused on it, it's been primarily this committee, bipartisan way. You know, we started, the previous NORTHCOM commander, when I was here, wasn't that focused on the Arctic at all. It's got increasingly better. General O'Shaughnessy has been fantastic. So can you give me your sense of, you know, the great power competition that is occurring in the Arctic and what we need to do? I think we're unfortunately way behind, but the Congress of the United States has been really pressing this issue to get the Pentagon to wake up. And I think the Pentagon is finally waking up. I give a lot of credit to General O'Shaughnessy, Secretary of the Air Force, you may have seen. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to submit this for the record. The new Department of the Air Force Arctic Strategy came out last week as a really good document. Again, 5.5 years ago, the Obama administration Arctic Strategy in this hearing, in this committee, I referred to as a joke because it was 13 pages, 6 of which were pictures. Climate change was mentioned like 6 or 7 times, and Russia was mentioned once in a footnote, and China wasn't even mentioned. So it's a changing situation now. Can you give me your views, and then I'd like to ask some specific issues with regard to the Arctic.
Without objection, that'll be made a part of the record at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. I see tremendous value in the Arctic. Specifically, if confirmed, what I would focus on is enabling persistence. And I'm encouraged by the strategy that you talked about from the Air Force. I have read it. I think it is a great step in the right direction. China and Russia, as you asked about, tremendous resources in the Arctic. Russia specifically, using militarization, taking approximately a dozen or so bases and either reopening or opening to have significant influence in the Arctic. China calls himself a near Arctic nation, which I find hard to believe, but they do. But certainly they want to have persistence in the Arctic as well. That demands persistence out of the United States as well, in my mind. And to do that would require some capabilities. I understand that General O'Shaughnessy and NORTHCOM have a requirement for fuel north of Dutch Harbor. That could enable some additional capabilities for persistence. Communications will be a significant challenge. I understand that's the #1 priority for General O'Shaughnessy right now.
And we have about a third of that requirement in the NDAA this year, so we're making progress there too.
Yes, and so we sincerely appreciate that, Senator. That is crucial above in the northern latitudes. Communication allows command and control as well. And to deter and defend, you have to be able to command and control the forces. And so you have to have the infrastructure to support that.
Let me ask about infrastructure, General. Just again, this week, hardly a week goes by without a new media an article or something in the press about the Arctic. Pompeo says U.S. to expand Arctic role to deter Russia and China. That was in the Washington Post 2 days ago. Yesterday in the Wall Street Journal, there was a huge article, huge. China's move to buy Arctic gold mine draws fire in Canada as world powers seek dominance in the Arctic region. Opponents of purchase say blocking deal is in Canadians' national interest. You're going to be working closely with the Canadians, as you mentioned in your opening statement on this. And then the President, just a month ago, put out from him the memorandum on safeguarding U.S. national interests in the Arctic and Antarctic regions. I'd like to submit this for the record, Mr. Chairman. But what the President is asking you, the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State, Secretary of Homeland Security, is look at that issue of infrastructure. His memo says we need more icebreakers and we need a presence of at least 2 U.S. basing locations for these new icebreakers. Do you think it would make sense to put one of those basing locations in the part of America that actually is the Arctic?
Senator, I do think it makes sense, and if confirmed, I'd continue to work with you in this committee to ensure that we get after that.
Great. Thank you, General. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.